Hi Aquarius, my sun brothers and sisters, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, remember they are general readings. Use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, this week you have Alright, so you got the Devil card. So this week, my dear Aquarius, it is time for you to address your bad habits, your self-sabotaging tendencies, or your obsessions or overindulgences, right? Remember the Devil card, aside from like on its sort of heavier side, the Devil card is where we're trapped by something or we believe that there's only one way to do something. So whatever you're locked into this week, you are being given a heads up to say, hey, listen, you got to get this under control now. The other thing is the Devil card can, and it actually does represent like what we're bound to. And this can be in a conscious way as well. This is where maybe we are so dedicated to something that we don't see anything either side. Remember, this card is ruled by Capricorn, which is a fellow Saturnian being. And really, in a lot of ways, Capricorn is about dedication. It's about hard work and discipline and determination to reach the end of something. So for your actions and options, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So what do we see here, right? Whatever you are working on, whatever you are talking about, whatever you are learning, or whatever information you are integrating or adapting, will take you right the way through to the end of this year. Pay attention to what shows up for you this week in terms of your actions and options and what you're setting into motion, because it's going to be with you for the next 4 months. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, there's a chance for you to start something over, to start something afresh. And in a lot of ways, you're going to find that this will be one thing that Aquarian people absolutely love, that nobody really talks about actually. Aquarian people love education. They love to learn. And it's like whatever you're embarking on over the course of this week, you're going to see very quickly that it feels like, oh my gosh, like I'm learning so much about myself, about this subject. This subject is teaching me so much about myself or about other people or about the world. So whatever it is that you're learning this week, whatever it is that you're taking on board, like it sees you getting really immersed in it. But as I say, it takes you right through to the end of the year. And it's quite possible that whatever you do start learning, you get very obsessed with very quickly. Now, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Judgment card. Judgment's been quite active this week, so we are looking at a big shake-up or a shift of some sort. Now, you've got this Judgment card as your communications, which means there are going to be blasts from the past. It's possible that you could be reconnecting with or hearing from somebody that you worked with, connected with previously. It's also, the Judgment card is a call to action. So when it comes to your work, your studies, your academics, all of that kind of sector of your life, there are big changes coming. And with this Devil card, I will say, because Aquarius is the sign of change, the future and progress, sometimes progress for its own sake is not necessarily the way to go. And sometimes holding on to the old ways or the old traditions is also not necessarily the way to go. This week, you're going to be able to find a balance though, I think. And then finally, the quality of conversation that you're having this week is the quality of awakening. There's going to be so many conversations this week, I think, that are going to snap you out of some of the stuff that you've been experiencing. And you might be like really pleasantly surprised, but a bit like, okay, this is crazy. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, there is a need here for you in your studies, or maybe even the institution that you're a part of, to break some kind of old tradition open, Just be careful you don't burn yourself out in the process. There is a reason that dynasties have stood. That being said, sometimes there's a reason that dynasties need to come down. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, there's a big shake-up coming into your workspace and sphere, and also potentially into your duties. I wouldn't be surprised if management, somebody in a position of authority or power, probably says to you like, yeah, you know what, we've got all of these changes going on, and in order for these changes to, you know, if you want to be abreast of all of this, are you interested in taking some form of study? This could be something that they kind of thrust you into, and I gotta say, if it is not forced on you but thrust on you, go with it, because it could be really good for you, especially for your long-term future. And then when it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you revolutionizing, overhauling your business in some way, shape or form. Maybe you are sounding the trumpet yourself and it's like, look, I've got this new thing, I'm going to do all of this different. You're going in new directions that feel really aligned to you. And maybe this is literally the end of an old era and the beginning of a new one, which is very, very exciting. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this, especially with the Devil card, it's possible that someone in your family or in your, you know, immediate sort of close ones, it's possible that somebody has a relapse, especially if they've been through rehab or, you know, something along those lines. Like maybe there's somebody that you've been sort of a bit, you know, worried about because they, you know, they are a bit more vulnerable in that regard, and you see this, and it's very possible. And I will say there are telltale signs. If somebody stutters a lot, or they get super clumsy, if they've been on those kinds of journeys, the chances are they're about to relapse. If you spot that as a symptom, that's your cue to step in and do what you can to help that person or give them that extra support at that time so that they don't go down that path. All right, there's a chance for you to head this off here. That's a true prediction. All right, now, with that said, and the changes that are coming, as many of you know, I've already set up a YouTube membership. So these weeklies are going to be a part of that YouTube membership. It's $8.99 a month, the price of like a coffee and a little bit more, right? But especially in today's economy, right? So you'll get all of your weeklies plus a few other goodies and bits and pieces that I will be putting in that membership space. So you will be seeing that. This is coming through very soon, all right? So I just want to let you know we are on that countdown, right? I've been saying like we're on the countdown, so stay tuned because there's going to be new everything, all right? I'm really looking forward to it. For your love and relations, you have the Wheel of Fortune. If you are single, it's very possible that you could have an encounter this week with somebody that you have maybe had an encounter with before. Now, I have to tell you, because you've got the Devil card and you've got the Judgment card, two things. One, there's likely to be an encounter with somebody that you've had one with before. It could be a lot of fun, could be very sexy, but it could also be that that this person is not good for you, right? Aside from some really hot sex or like a really good laugh or a really good time, there's nothing there for you. Have the fun, have the enjoyment, but just know that you need to stay focused, all right? Now, that being said, it's also possible that some of you could be reconnecting with the one that got away this week, all right? Or maybe you are the one that got away and you hear from somebody from your past that really is like, you know what, cuffing season is upon us, baby, and you about to be mad. Right, so watch out for that. If you are, for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this looks like you could be doing some form of travel or at least setting that into motion for later down the line. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Swords. I actually like this card for money because it usually coincides with paying off a debt, maybe a debt is forgiven, the release of a financial burden, challenge, or issue of some sort shows up for you here. So this could be really, really nice. All right, so very much looking forward to that. It's also possible though that an income stream could be removed, or that you end up losing out on finances because of some kind of shoddy behavior. So watch out for this when it comes to physical health and vitality. If you know that there is an operation or some kind of surgery, etc., that you need, this is the week where it could go ahead, or at least you get notification of it. And then when it comes to your home and environment, the Three of Swords, this could be something that you're removing or releasing from the home that actually has a very positive effect in the long term. It is also possible for those of you, and touch wood and I hope I'm wrong, but for those of you that have pets, this week they could either get lost or they could transition out of the mortal coil. All right, I really hope I'm wrong on that front, but it is a possibility. With that said, let me know in the comments how it goes. If you want to book your personal session with me, you know what to do. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.